It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Firebrand Brewing Company, and this is a can of their Beast of Bodmin. It's been described as a warming ruby ale. It's coming in at 5% ABV in a 440ml can. Without further ado, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. A little bit of smoke on the can opening. Beer in the glass. Definitely is pouring out as an amber beer. I've used an IPA glass. I'm just normally Firebrand's beers are really hoppy, so I decided to go with the IPA glass to get all of that hop aroma. But it's quite unusual to see a deep ruby amber coloured beer in an IPA glass like this. We've got a 1 to 2 finger slightly off-white head. It's a tan deep amber red coloured ale. Slow moving carbonation. At this stage of the beer review, I want to say a massive thank you to our channel sponsor, beersofeurope.co.uk. Beers of Europe, the largest online beer store in the UK with a fabulous range of beer from all over the world. If you like trying all of these weird and wonderful beers from all around the world, and you live in the UK, then check out www.beersofeurope.co.uk. On we go with the beer review then. Let's get the aroma. It's more of a malty. It's almost like I want to grab a different glass now and stick it in a different glass, because it's a malty. It's a big kind of biscuity, bready, malt forward beer rather than the hoppy beers that I'm used to drinking from Firebrand. And I suppose it's worth talking about. I mean, if I did pour this beer in, say, this glass, then it would work better in my mind for some reason. And I think it's just the way your mind works. I've poured this beer in an IPA glass, and now I'm thinking, where's the hops? And I'm thinking to myself, no, I shouldn't be asking myself that question, because I made the mistake of putting this beer in this glass. It's not the brewery's fault, because it's not a massively hopped up beer. It's my fault for putting it in a glass where you normally get big hoppy aromas. So amazing how your mind works, isn't it? In terms of beers and colours and haziness and beer glass styles. It just proves to drink with your mouth, not with these things. It's nutty, it's biscuity, it's bready, it's a warming winter kind of red ale. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, it is quite hoppy. It is, but it's more. Ooh, it's hoppy, but then the malt kind of. It's almost like you've thrown the bone for the dog, and the bone is the hops, and then straight away this great big Rockweiler is chasing down the bone, and before you know it, the Rockweiler is shaking the bone round in his mouth, and it's a bit like that in that you've thrown the bone, which is the hops, and then the malt comes chasing after you straight away. It really does. It's big and bold and biscuity, bready. There's a little bit of pipe tobacco smoke in there. It's nicely carbonated. Carbonation pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth. But I'm enjoying this. Now I've managed to get my head around this glassware that I've decided to use today. It's pipe tobacco smoke and big and bready and malty and toffee-like. it's slightly kind of smoked in a slightly kind of different way. But it looks a great beer. It does. It looks a great beer. It tastes a great beer. I think this is one of their... I think as a brewery you have to have a staple range of beers. And I've reviewed a load of the... Well, we have one here. It's coming up soon to the channel. If you have a look at the bottom of that can, we got limited batch brew. Now this is going to be a red ale, but it's been brewed with Citra. But limited batch brew. So Firebrand Brewing Company produce like limited releases of really hoppy beers. But then you look at this can and there's no limited release kind of anywhere. I think this is one of their permanent beers. And if I was down Cornwall way on a wet and windy winter's day, and I popped into a bar and found this, it certainly would be warming. It certainly would be one of those, I've chosen rightly here. I've chosen this beer. This is more of probably when all the tourists disappear from Cornwall and you're left with the locals who still use the pubs in the winter. And you can imagine that the locals discussing the summer trade with a pint of this warming red ale in their hands. It's really good. It's really good, and there is a hop presence. I mentioned that earlier on. I think it's more traditional British hops, mind you. I think it's more of like a Bramling cross or something like that. It's biscuity, it's bready, it's bitter. There's a nice bitterness coming through on the back end. It's very good. It's got a nice, slightly creamy, rich mouthfeel as well. Forged in Cornwall, or North Cornwall, with natural Cornish spring water. Beast of Bodmin is our premium chestnut red ale. This full-bodied ale has a complex malty taste with a fruity bitter finish. A firm favourite since its release in 2012. There we go. It is in fact a permanent beer for them. It has won numerous awards and received various accolades. This beer is named after a mythical group of big cats living on the wild and rugged landscape of Bodmin Moor, feeding off the livestock and hiding in the wilderness. February 2022. So that's the best before date. So we're drinking this, way before, we're drinking this August 2021. So we got a good 6 months. It's exactly 6 months shelf life on this. I probably won't be releasing this beer until September. So you'll probably be watching this video in September. What I'm trying to do is bring down my backlog of beers. So I've got about a month ahead of me, to be honest, with beers I've got in the bank, uploaded privately to YouTube, and I just flick it over from private to public, and bang, it's done. Rating then. I can see why it's an award-winning beer. I can see why people drink this, and I can see why it's been rebrewed over and over again by the brewery, because it is a fantastic malty, chestnutty, red, beautiful winter warmer of a beer. Let's rate it. Loads going on from the complex malts, loads going on from the, I would say, British hops. I like that enough to give it a Stone the Crows 9 out of 10. So 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. My type of beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.